Pep Guardiola is running away from the Premier League because his boy Mikel Arteta is finally humbling him. That is why he's running away. These are some of the tweets coming out from people like Ogo talking about Pep Guardiola running away from the Premier League. I mean, according to Fabrizio Romano, it is somewhat concrete that the idea of Pep Guardiola leaving City at the end of the season is legit, right? And then when you hear these stories and then you hear people coming online to begin to talk about Pep Guardiola running away from the Premier League because his boy is going to humble him. And I'm sure those are Arsenal fans, right? When you look at a manager like Pep Guardiola to reduce all of his good works only to finances, it's crazy. It is just crazy because tell me a good manager that have managed some of the best teams in the world that have not spent money. Tell me. And it is also very important to mention that when he was promoted from Barca B team to the first team, he won 6 trophies with almost zero spend. He won 6 trophies, took out a couple of players from the first team that he didn't fancy, and then promoted some from the B team, the likes of Busquets, into the first team to play the kind of football he wanted to play. Reposition players like Lionel Messi into the number 10 positions, doing the magic that he did in those seasons. And those were the seasons that Lionel Messi had his best numbers as a Barcelona player under Pep. So reducing a beautiful and brilliant coach like this to finances alone, come on, it is just below the belt. And then when you listen to his press conference, when he was talking in his press conference, you hear Pep Guardiola saying that, according to Fabrizio, that in the last 5 years, right, Manchester City has been the seventh team in terms of amount spent.
Now, I'm a little bit sad and upset because in net spend the last 5 years, we are the 7 in the Premier League.
Yet, they categorize all of his wins to finances alone. It's really sad. And when you put Pep Guardiola in comparison to other coaches that have also been in the Premier League, it is mind-blowing the amount of things he has done. I mean, Manchester City has always been there. They have perhaps won a couple of trophies here and there before Pep Guardiola came in, but not as convincingly as they have done under Pep Guardiola. One treble with this team that have never won a Champions League, one treble with this team, won multiple Premier Leagues. I mean, the first manager in the history of the Premier League to win back to back 4 consecutive Premier League titles, not to mention the amount of FA Cups, the Carling Cups, the Community Shield, if you choose to mention that, and all the way to Germany, where he won 3 German titles, won multiple Spanish leagues, and then reducing this brilliance to just finances alone it's absolutely nuts. It's just bonkers. As a Manchester United fact, am I happy that Pep Guardiola is leaving Manchester City? Absolutely. Because even though we have been able to gain results against City here and there, we have not been as convincing. But because Pep Guardiola is obviously there. So it is a good thing for us United fans that he is leaving, because it will give us even more confidence when we come against a team like this. So it is a good thing in that regard, yes. But then again, you cannot reduce the brilliance of a manager to finances alone. How many managers have we seen that have spent money but they have not been able to do anything with that money? And just to mention, the likes of coaches that have won so many trophies that you can choose to put side by side with Pep Guardiola, when you talk about Carlo Ancelotti, and then you talk about Jose Mourinho, who have also won valuable trophies. These guys, the amount of money Pep Guardiola has spent is not far from what these guys have also spent in terms of coaches that have spent the most money. So reducing his brilliance, his geniusness, if there is a word like that, to finances alone is just absolutely bonkers. And I honestly hope that this guy gets all the accolades he deserves, because winning 3 Manager of the Year awards is no jokes. So I hope he gets all the accolades he deserves, because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, we are going to miss him as a coach, as a brilliant coach. And there is no way you will mention the Premier League and you will not mention Pep Guardiola. He's up there amongst the very greats in the Premier League, So kudos to Pep Guardiola, and honestly, I think this guy deserves all the rest he can get, because at the end of the day, he looks like somebody that is completely burnt out. So he needs all the rest. If I recall well, the last time Pep Guardiola had rest was when he was leaving for Bayern Munich. Ever since then, this guy has not rested, and he's among those managers that the moment he is available on the market, teams will obviously begin to come after him. So this guy is absolutely burnt out, in my opinion, and I think he deserves all the rest he can get away from the game, spend more time with his family, be with himself a bit more. So I wish him all the very best in his next chapter, even though I am not a huge fan of Manchester City, but this manager gets all the respect and accolades that he deserves because he is brilliant.